I was working on micrometeorites that is coming from the, extraterrestrial particles.
I have studied their degradation, like how degraded those plastics are. I have tried to find what are the sources.
For me, I had a good 20 days fieldwork at the Himalayas where we collected our samples. Hello and welcome to another episode of Accidental PhDs, where three PhDs talk about science, grad schools, and everything in between.
No,
What? Why?
research, science, grad school,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything in between.
Okay, we have to mention research. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Accidental PhDs, where three PhDs talk about science, research, grad school, and everything in between.
It's
I'm
research,
Karthik.
science, grad school, and everything in between.
It's all same. Nobody cares. So I'm Karthik from University of Potsdam, Germany.
Hi everyone, I'm Alok from Comenius University.
And I'm Basil from University of Chicago.
3 people, 3 countries, and 1 long Zoom call. This is the Accidental PhDs, where 3 PhDs talk about research, science, grad school, and everything in between.
Chicago. So in this episode, let's talk about master's thesis, right? So we were thinking about talking about thesis that we do at the end of our masters, especially in the context of IISER, we have 1 year long master's thesis. So let's dive into it. So Karthik, what is a master's thesis? And especially as we have mentioned, especially in the context of IISERs, can you define a master's thesis?
So master thesis is your first hand-on experience on research, where you don't have to give an exam, where you don't have to study courses, where you just select a lab, select a professor, and you're given a question or given a research problem, or you just make a research problem yourself and then you try to solve it, or maybe not solve it, but work towards it for 1 year. For in IISERs, we have master thesis for 1 whole year, but at some places it's for 1 semester or 6 months.
Okay, so we got an idea about master's thesis in a nutshell. So let's go into the details, especially the first point that we always, as a student, especially as a student who is looking for a master's thesis, who is going to start a master's thesis, the question is how to find a supervisor, how to find the perfect matching lab, how to find the research topic. So, Alok, can you explain your experiences? How did you select your topic, as well as any general ideas that you can give upon on it?
Okay, so for me it was quite simple. As I mentioned in a previous episode also that I was not that interested in research during my bachelor's. So I had no ideas about these research things. But while doing coursework in 4th years also, like we were doing mostly the coursework from environmental sciences. So coursework also and lab work also. So as I come from village, so I have done lots of farming. So I was quite curious about like let's study about soil pollution. So it was known to me that which are the labs in our institute they are working on pollution. Okay, so I mailed in to my supervisor. The lab name is Environmental Nanoscience Laboratory. So I mailed supervisor that I want to do my master thesis under your guidance. So I mailed him, then he replied, then he told me that come to my office, we will talk, we'll have discussion. And then I went there, he told me that what would you like to do? And there also it was not clear in my mind that what I want to do. I said only that I want to work in soil pollution. That's it. So from there, like he said, okay, these are the things, these are the problems, we can work on that. And that's how I joined that environmental and science laboratory.
Okay, so basically the first point you have mentioned is your interest. What's
Yeah,
the topic of,
interest.
especially maybe we should also discuss about the selecting a matching supervisor, right? Maybe
Yeah,
if you really want to know how the supervisor is, how he interact with his students, you can just ask the
PhD
members of the
scholars.
lab, PhD scholars,
Yeah,
the members who
PhD
are in the
scholars.
lab of that supervisor, and make your mind whether to join or not.
Yeah.
So Karthik was mentioning this thing. I mean, before selecting your master's thesis topic, whether that should match your PhD. I mean, if you don't know on which topic I should do PhD, should I do a master's thesis in a topic which will tie you to that topic that you have to do PhD in that exact topic? So,
Hmm.
any
Yeah. I
point?
had this confusion while choosing my master's thesis because I was not sure whether I want to stick with this same thing into my PhD. So I also talked with my supervisor regarding this. And I think it's important if you do it in the same field. It is helpful if you do it in the same field, but even if not, if you're working on similar techniques, I think that is also fine. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. If I'm using same machine, same instruments, and if I have the like say the wet geochemistry lab experience, then I can just walk into any topic which uses those geochemistry skills. So that's the advice which I got from people, that even if the topic is not same, the skills which you acquire during your master's thesis would always be useful. So rather than sticking on a topic or a subject that, okay, I'll stick with this, try to acquire the same skills which you can use at different places if you're not sure about the topic at least.
So it's like for me also, like whatever I did in my master thesis and what I'm doing right now, it's completely different. But while doing research, while doing thesis, you learn lots of things. How to start research, how to approach problem, how to define problem. Okay, and then you will learn skills, and there are many skills I've learned that are being used right now. So it's not always necessary to choose the same topic. You can choose different topic if you're interested in that, but you have to be interested, because if you're not interested, you won't be finding it, you will be finding it completely difficult. So you have to choose wisely.
Yeah.
I think Basil is doing the same thing which he did in his master thesis into the PhD. For me, topic is different, but techniques is same. For Alok, topic is same, but I guess techniques are different, right? Yeah, doing it in soil pollution.
Yes, but pollutants are different.
So a master's thesis is really important for you if you want to stay into research. If you want to do a PhD, then you should be really mindful about which lab you're joining, which project you're working on. But maybe it's not that important if you don't want to stay in research. You can just choose a topic which is easy for you and a lab where you don't have to work that much and just take it easy. So, okay, so we should also discuss about whether we should do a master thesis in our own institute, or should we also apply to another institute, like maybe in India, or even try to go abroad. What is better? I think Basil here has done his thesis from outside of IISER. He went to NIU. How was the experience there?
Yeah. So I did my master's thesis outside. So I would say that the reason why I go there is like sometimes in your institute you won't get the field that you're interested in. I was interested in planetary geology or cosmochemistry, which is there was no faculty working on that field in IISER Kolkata. So if you are interested in a field which is not in your home institute, you can definitely go outside, do work under someone who do that. Or if you have the same field in your institute, but you still got a better opportunity, someone who is like national, someone who is really good in that field, or someone who is leading the science in that field. If you get an opportunity like that, you can also go outside and do this is we are talking about IISER. And if you are from a state university or central university, always try to go to some Indian institute and do some master's thesis there if your university allows you. In IISER, the case is that we already have some good faculties. So decide whether to do there, or if you are interested in a different topic, go outside and do somewhere else. Yeah.
And for students who are in IISER, they can also try abroad. I mean, try to go
Yeah.
abroad and see
Yes.
how it is, how the science is there, because it's a whole different experience, right? You also see that whether you'll be living the same life in your PhD. So you'll get an idea how the research and how staying there would feel like. So I think it's better to go abroad for that too. We have many students from our batch who went abroad. So let's talk about the topic of our thesis, master thesis. What did we do in our thesis? Basil, let's start with you.
Okay. So I did my thesis in NIO. NIO is a CSIR lab. NIO stands for National Institute of Oceanography. It's in Goa. So I worked in the cosmic dust lab. So I was working on micrometeorites that is coming from the extraterrestrial particles, these tiny particles that is coming to our Earth from outside. So these are not big meteorites. These are micro-sized meteorites. So it's around like plenty of these dust is coming out from our cosmos to the Earth in every day, every hour, every minute. So I was studying about these cosmic dust, especially these cosmic dust that have been collected from Central Indian Ocean Basin. So NAO go for expeditions. They collect these sediments from the basically sediments from the seabed, and you can collect or segregate micrometeorites from them. So I was interested in how these micrometeorites are dissolved in the sea ocean, and what are these things bringing out from outside to the ecosystem, to the system that we are living in. So yeah, that was my topic, and it was similar to the topic I got for PhD. But yeah, I have a similar project as well as I have a different project for the PhD. Yeah. So about the who should join such a lab? I mean, if you're interested in cosmochemistry, if you're interested in planetary geology, these are some labs in which you can have a first-hand experience to that subject. I think there are only few labs in India do such research. So if you are really interested in cosmochemistry, there are some good labs in PRL also who are working in cosmochemistry. PRL stands for Physical Research Laboratory, and NIO. I think there is only one lab that I worked. That is Cosmic Dust Lab, and there are some labs in IITs and all. But yeah, so people who are interested in planetary geology, definitely this is a good place for you to try explore.
Okay.
What about Alok?
I did my master's in same institute, IISER Kolkata, where I joined environmental nanoscience laboratory. So my topic of thesis was assessment of microplastic in agricultural soils. So it was basically there are several plastic products that are being used in agricultural practices, and they are also being promoted by government. So I wanted to assess whether these plastics are contributing to microplastics or not. They are breaking down into smaller pieces and they are accumulating in the soils. So I have studied in several years of plastic uses. Also, I have studied their degradation, like how degraded those plastics are. I have tried to find what are the sources they are because of they are getting accumulated there. So I was trying to answer all these questions, and I think uh, about joining such lab, anyone who is interested in pollution, it could be a soil pollution, water pollution, or air pollution. If you're interested in studying heavy metals, if you're interested in studying microplastics, nanoplastics, so those who are interested in these kind of things, they can join Environmental Nanoscience
Last
Laboratory.
question.
So what about Karthik?
So I also did my master's thesis at IISER Kolkata at Earth Surface Dynamics Lab. My topic was about sediment recycling in the Himalayan foldland basin. So for me, I had a good 20 days fieldwork at the Himalayas where we collected our samples, and I was interested in seeing the sediment source to sink connection. And so my work was mostly about geochemical analysis and isotope analysis. I worked on strontium and neodymium to understand the source of the sediments and to understand how much they have been recycled while getting deposited there. And our lab mostly works on uh, the tectonics and climate control on the landscape. So if you are interested in geomorphology and if you want to understand how tectonics and climates govern the topography, then you should really join the lab. It's not just geochemical work, we also do quite a lot of computational things in that. So yeah, it's for both of them if you are
Nice.
interested in computational or in geochemical work.
Okay, let's talk about the timeline of the thesis. So, especially in IISERs, master thesis of 1 year, 2 semesters. So, especially in both semester we have presentation and in the second semester we have to also make a thesis report. So we start from literature review, like we do lots of literature review and then we define a problem, we define methods, okay, and we define everything and then we present it in the first semester. Until that time, at least your thesis should be defined, problem should be defined. It's not necessary to present your result or work there, but at least you should have everything defined. You should have clear in your mind that what methods you are going to use and why you are solving those problems. That would be enough. But in the second semester, you will have to work on it and you will have to come with the result, whether it is a positive or negative result. You have to present it anyway, and also you have to make reports. So yeah.
Okay, as you've mentioned the timeline, let's discuss about the grading, how this is graded, because we don't have any courses. As we have mentioned initially that we don't
Yeah.
take any courses, so everything comes from this thesis. So,
Yeah.
Karthik, can you give some light?
I think I think results don't matter that much for your grades. I mean, every result is a result. A bad result is also a result. So you shouldn't worry about whether you have got good data or bad data. Uh, the thing which will be mostly graded on is whether you have put effort into it, whether you have tried to solve the problem, how much you have worked on it. And I think your presentation is really an important thing. When you deliver your presentation, how good you deliver it. A lot of your grade depends on it. The questions which they ask you should be very clear on what you're actually doing. Your motivation should be clear. That would be, I think, the most important question which everyone asks in your thesis, that why are you doing this? What is the motivation for this? Or what is the relevance of your thesis? So you
Yes.
should be very clear in this. They'll grade you on the basis of your understanding of the whole topic and how much you have worked on it, not your results. I would say, and how you're presenting it also. That also matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, can you explain about the system? I mean, the grading, how much the your supervisor. I think 80% of your grades.
80%.
It's very specific for IISER. I think it's
It
very
will be
dynamic
different. It will be
Yeah.
different for different,
for different departments, different
even for
Yes.
different departments. But I think mostly the supervisor has in our IISER, it's like supervisor has the most major chunk of grades, and
Yes.
there will be other people in your committee, other committee members. They can grade the remaining part. Now let's conclude it by giving the final tip, the golden tip for the master's thesis. So, Karthik, what is your golden tip?
always be very clear about the broad application of your thesis or the broad question which you're answering. If you're going for research, be sure to connect your research or the thing which you have worked on to a bigger problem, a bigger question. That really helps. When you're applying for PhDs, you should always pose the bigger question which you are answering and make a good presentation. Work on the presentation. Like even if you have done less work, you should put more work into making a good presentation and writing a very good thesis report. I mean, science and research is all about how you sell your research. So you should be good in selling your research. That is what matters at the end.
Yeah. For me, I would say that, as Karthik has mentioned some of them, I would say a good communication with your supervisor. I mean, even if you are working under a PhD student, you should communicate with your supervisor, show him the results or show him what you are doing, meet him at least once in a week so that you have a good communication and connection with him so that you can use that for your future PhD applications and all those things. Yeah, that's a tip I can give. What about Alok?
Look,
For me, like I think you have covered everything, but I will say how to achieve all these things. So basically, whenever you are working on a project, so there are groups, lab meetings. Always try to participate in that. Like try to present your research in front of the group. Maybe like there will be supervisor, other PhD students will be there. When you will be presenting, you will be presenting your work. They will be asking questions. They will be giving suggestions. You can note it down and then you can work on that. So as Karthik mentioned that you have to make good presentation. So the good presentation is not made in a single day. So it is made by several questions, several suggestions. So they already have lots of experiences, so they speak based on those, and then you can learn from them and you can improve your presentations. Also that will help you to build a good communication with your professor, as Basil mentioned that you have to maintain a good communication with your professor so that you can use it. So all these things are very important. Always be honest with your research. Whatever you are doing, you are, even if you are getting wrong result, if you're not getting good result, be honest with the result. Don't try to fabricate your data. So these are the things I would say, because if you make datas, then you won't be that confident with those datas. If there will be questions based on those data that you won't be able to answer. But
Yeah.
if you are getting negative data, you at least will be able to answer that there might be these things might have gone wrong, that's why this kind of data we are getting. So be honest with your research.
So that's all. Let's conclude. I would say that to everyone who is going to start your master's thesis or starting, best of luck with your master's thesis. Also, the mental state. I mean, you should not give more stress and more
yes.
pressure to these things. It's at the end of the day, it's all about doing something and exploring the science and exploring labs. So never put a lot of pressure and stress into these things. It's everything is going to be fine. So best of luck with that. And Karthik, anything else?
It's your last year. I mean, enjoy it. It's
Enjoy
your
it.
last year
Enjoy
in
Like
it.
college.
Enjoy it.
never stay every time in the lab. Enjoy, do something else also. And yeah, maybe we'll conclude this session here. But for more videos and all, definitely don't forget to
Like,
subscribe this channel. And if you have any doubts, we have started a Telegram group in which you can post your questions that we may discuss that in coming episodes or maybe even in the Telegram group itself. So yeah, see you again in some other episodes.
next episode.
Okay then, bye.
Bye.